They just dropped Shattered Grove while we've been recording, so let's go and do that one. And
Yeah, let's do that one because I haven't seen that one.
Then we'll wrap up for the day for the show because there's so much more to cover. We'll cover some more stuff later this week on the channel as well. But let's go ahead and dive in. We both have not seen this one. I'll hit like because you know what? Yeah, I like the videos. It helps. All right, let's.
It does. It really does.
That's one way to help kind of reset your algorithm is that it's just like, hey, just remind people to make sure they check that notification box because as you stream, it's like, okay, people didn't like that stream, Brian. We're going to slowly just turn things off for you. Thanks, YouTube.
At the furthest known reaches of Aeturnum lies shattered.
I'm going to say the guy's voice in this is just phenomenal. It's, like they got the right narrator that really, I think, fits the overall mood for this game.
Mountain, the ultimate summit for any adventurer to tackle.
See, this looks cool.
Oh, yeah, dude. This that's the thing that, for me, and what I connected with New World immediately, which drew me into the world, was its immersion. Because I was sitting here watching it, and I was like, and I was playing it, and I was cutting down a tree, and I was running, and the moon was cutting through the trees, and I was like, this is gorgeous. Like, this is a very beautiful game. I'm really quite impressed.
Crown is a
What do you think of the 5-player expeditions? Like, 5 players odd number?
No, 5 is the right number. I would prefer 6 in terms of multiplayer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But 5 is much better because I think 14 struggles with its 4 component, where if you look at 8-man content, it doesn't struggle as hard in forming groups, especially when you're like, okay, 1 tank. But I think with 5, you end up getting like that mindset of you can have like a tank and a healer, and then you can have 3 DPS, which I think will help funnel in more people into the content. But I don't think they're doing matchmaking, which I think is a plus. I know a lot of people want that kind of content, but I think with I think matchmaking is done for the PvP expedition or outpost rush content. So I think that it's a balance. We'll have to wait. I mean, I'll have to wait and see. Like, if the content isn't hard and there's no reason to go back and do the content, then, hey, yeah, finish all the dungeons. We'll see.
Well, they said it was hard.
We'll see. I heard that they made, in the last patch notes, they made the dungeon content much harder. All right, we'll continue on.
Splintered mountain range, awash with corruption.
Touring Aeternum, Shattered Mountain. This is one of the endgame zones.
Heading north from the Great Cleave, travelers can
I really
choose to
like
venture
that they're
through the grey
putting the
wastes
effort in
of
to show the surroundings. I really like this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
This has me a lot more interested in the game.
To reach the meager settlement of Mountain Home, or face dangers and almost certain death in the corrupted fortress of Caminus. The Red Fortress is filled with cruel and merciless blood-forged enemies who would rip you in half on sight. These enemies are infused with powerful magic, and only the most seasoned of fighters will be able to best them. For those who enter the Shattered Lands from the eastern region of Eden Grove, the first settlement you will come across will be Mountain Rise Outpost. This bare-bones rest stop will provide you a valuable respite from the elements and a chance to brew some much-needed corruption tinctures before.
Tinctures. I've never known how to pronounce that word, so I'm going to have to practice it. I've always been like, tinctures? Oh no! There come you words. So what do you think of what we've seen here with this like little outpost town? Anything stand out to you the most? Like, for me, the thing that my eye is immediately drawn to is the bird with the coin in its beak.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I didn't realize that was a coin, but
I would assume it's a coin.
Through some much-needed corruption.
Like if
I was looking at the central pillar like an altar.
Yeah.
To the craggy labyrinth of Shattered Mountain. Northwest of Mountain Rise.
Look how beautiful this is. Like, the colors in the woods and the foliage alone make it feel truly next gen. To the point where Final Fantasy showed off one of its next gen engines, Square Enix did, and I was like, what would Square Enix do with this kind of level of resources and engine? Like, what would the next Square Enix MMO 14 Connected World evolution look like? Anyway, I start to nerd out.
I guess we'll have to find out when Chaos is killed.
when we finally kill Chaos.
Wilds. Look out for a body of water near the hidden strain to meet Master Fisherman Bernard, but try not to get eaten by wilted wolves along the way. Continue north, and you will reach Rotfellow
The Eye of Mordor.
A cursed cave,
to
some of the foulest beasts in Aeturnum. Keep your wits about you, as you'll scarcely be able to see a thing in this dark cavern. To the northwest of Mountain Home, you will find the Scorched Mines. Fight your way through Ambusti Inferia to explore them.
So all in all, right now, like we've seen so many different, like almost biomes in this own thing, where the Scorched Mines and the mountain itself, these have a similar like color scheme, but then all of a sudden we saw that the Grove and I don't know, man. Like I think that the zones are also. I never made it to Shattered Mountain when I played in the preview, but goodness gracious, the zones that I experienced, I was just impressed by. The thing that was pretty much felt copy and pasted was the settlements. So hopefully by the time we play the beta, we'll see a little bit different, level within the settlements themselves.
Mines and find the terrible.
I'm okay with that, though, you know.
What's up?
I'm okay with the settlements being samey because you don't waste as much time there trying to find where everything is. You just kind of know like that.
Yeah, it's true. Good point.
In their depths. Just make sure you have an exit route in mind. Navigating the twisted pathways of this wretched place is easier said than done. Keep heading northwest, and you'll see a burning pyre, signifying the desolate cliffs and the mortal mire that lies beyond. The corruption has taken much of the wildlife in the area, resulting in some ruthless beasts.
Wow, look at that!
Strike fear.
You're right about with the animations with the enemies, as opposed to like what we saw with the fashion show with the animation of the characters. And maybe that's just go ahead.
They just look so great. They absolutely look so fluid and alive. And then you looked at your characters and they were like, "I'm a robot."
And thanks, Ronnie, for the kind words. Appreciate the content. You're an inspiration for the family, man like myself. Keep on crushing. You do as well, sir. Thank you very much for the kind words. Y'all won't see it on the live stream, so but in the upload you will.
And you will encounter the Fallen Frontier.
I like. There's a way to make it happen, but I like it can mess with the stream itself. So we're getting there slowly at some point.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. This vast wasteland.
Man, look at how gorgeous that is. You got the sun coming in. This is what I'm talking about with the moon. When I played, like the moon was shining through the different trees. Here you got the sun and the rays and how you see the shading happening in the shadows. Like this looks, I'm sorry, like it looks phenomenal to me. Like I that's one of the things that is kind of the first thing I noticed about New World is just how immersed I got into the world itself. Like how, like I just visually just kind of was transferred into it. I enjoyed the game in the preview. I was ready to play it back then. So I'm really looking forward to kind of playing it right now.
Riddled with corruption. This is a great place to hone your battle skills, but don't expect much rest. The corruption here runs long and deep, and you will be hard-pressed to find a suitable camping spot among the carnage. When you are ready for your greatest challenge in Aeturnum, head to the Merkgard, the crown fortress of Aeturnum.
And going back to a point you made earlier, how you said, it's not about how, the game's going to launch, people should set their expectations. It's about the first expansion. There is so many. You're just watching one area, the Shattered Mountain.
Yeah, they got a lot of
zones. There's been 10 areas here. There's another 2 videos.
That they've already highlighted. Like there's a lot of zones already. Yeah,
loads, and they look so different, but they're so varied, and they look really good. I think the way they're launching this is definitely the right way. As long as they've got the side quests and the story to go with it to traverse you through, and you're not in each zone for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I think they've got a really. I mean, you know me, I was quite against New World and had very negative connotations about it, but watching the last few videos over the past week, I'm getting a change of heart. I've had a change of heart because I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking the effort they're putting in. They just need to polish it just a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they wouldn't need to wait for that first expansion. I think they could potentially have something as a new IP that can actually be successful.
Well, beyond the first expansion, I think the first expansion is what's going to invite that. Like when I'm talking about that, like the gamers that come and check out the game because of hype, and then they go back to WoW or Final Fantasy or whatever. And you don't have to necessarily, in my mind, abandon your game because this game doesn't have a sub fee, so you can buy the game and you can play it when you want to play it, and you can bounce out and take a break when you don't. But it's also about the content updates themselves, right? If New World releases August 31st and the first update is in February, like that's a long time. But if New World releases in August and then in October or November, they've got a pretty significant update. Like that's exciting. I think that excites the player base, those who are playing the game, to continue to play because it's like, hey, let me come back and check out the changes. Let me come back and there's more things for me to do. There's more dungeons for me to play. Content is king, and the first, like that's one of the things I think separates Final Fantasy XIV in the significance of them putting out an update every 3.5 months, is that it continues to invite players back in to kind of experience the game, get caught up if they want, and if they don't, they come back and they have a lot of story, a lot of things to play through as well. So there's really not a wrong answer. I just think that I think the first expansion will end up being that way of inviting people who maybe came and checked out the game for hype, felt that it was lacking, and returned to their old MMO, and then when you look at a new expansion, it's something like, oh, we're serious. It's like when season 2 of a series, I always say, like, let me know when season 2's out for your amazing series, like this amazing new series, because I remember watching some series that had, like, I thought I really enjoyed it, and then they never got a season 2, and I just felt like it never concluded. It was so frustrating. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced that. So I think the same kind of rings true for an MMO. An expansion is this moment in time that it's like, oh, yeah, I did enjoy that. And then I got distracted or something, life got in the way, but maybe I have time now to come back and check it out. Anyway, we'll finish this video and then we'll wrap up the podcast.
A hellscape of fearsome beasts and murderous, corrupted humans. Equip yourself with the best gear you can find and recruit some allies before entering this terrifying frontier. The challenge will be immense, but the reward will mark you as one of the finest adventurers Aeturnum has ever known. If you've traveled this far, then you're surely ready to face whatever trials and tribulations lie ahead. Now, go forth and make your mark on Aeturnum.
Thank you so much for checking out this highlight from Epic Loot Radio. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe button, and more. And check out our other channels, Ginger Gaming Radio, Ginger Prime, and Work to Game for more content. Thanks for being here, and you're awesome.